the ovaries, you have 2 cycles. Your endometrium, you have 2 cycles. Ovaries, days 1 through 14, follicular. The follicles put out estrogen. Okay? Day 14. Day 14, you have the ovulation. That is a spike of LH. (15 to 28) is called the luteal phase. Luteal.
The spike of LH, you mean the luteal?
Luteinizing hormone. This spike of luteinizing hormone is what releases the egg from the ovary. Okay? If this doesn't happen, the follicle does not let go of the egg. Okay? Endometrium. You have the proliferative phase, and the secretory phase. Okay? If I do not have LH, so my endometrium can't grow, that is called luteal phase deficiency. Okay? Because if I don't let go of my egg, because I don't have enough luteinizing hormone, then an egg will never implant in the uterus. Which one? Okay, the ovaries. Because of the FSH, follicular stimulating hormone, coming from the anterior pituitary gland, okay? My ovaries are 5 to 10 follicles will start developing. But only one becomes a Graafian follicle. A Graafian follicle is a mature follicle that's going to let go of the egg. There should only be one. God is good. You never know. Things can happen. Okay, you can release 2 eggs, and then if they both implant, then we have fraternal twins, not identical twins. Okay? So, because of FSH, my ovaries are building follicles. Okay? Now, once I have enough estrogen in my body, then inhibin says, okay, let's cut it off and let's put out LH. The LH is what makes the egg pop out of the ovary. Okay? Now the egg is inside the fallopian tube and it's following down. It's following down. It's following down. It's going to go all the way through. And during menses, it's just going to come out. Along with the egg comes my zona functionalis. That is the layer of the endometrium that is sloughed off during menses every 28 days. So from your very first cycle to your very last cycle in life, this is what happens. God put us on this planet to procreate. So it doesn't matter if this happens at age 8 or if it happens at age 65. You can get pregnant. Okay? Because the same hormones are put out. The same functions of the reproductive organs are all the same. Okay? After menopause, no. What happens after menopause? Now, menopause, you can be perimenopausal, meaning I have a cycle, then 8 months later I have another cycle. 5 months later I have another cycle. 9 months later I have another cycle. 1 year later I have another cycle. I'm menopausal because I didn't have a cycle for 1 year. Then I'm considered menopausal. You can still get pregnant. I had a great aunt that had been menopause for 7 years. 7 years. And she got pregnant. And then her husband died. So God did not want her to live the rest of her life as an older woman. She was in her 50s.
50?
She was in her 50s. Did not want her to live her life alone because he knew that her husband was going to die, and he gave her a daughter. So anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah, there a lady in Indian, she's 73 years old and she still get birth for twins.
Yeah. Did you hear about the Indian couple that went through infertility? Well, they had twins in India. They went home with the twins. Now, the mother and the father are both in ICU. Can you imagine take your twins at the age of 78?
Oh wow. 78? IVF?
Okay. Huh?
Is IVF?
IVH. Okay. So, any questions here? Okay.
So the zone of the cell that is when the endometrium thickens and then it breaks down and sloughs off?
The functionalis. The basalis is this layer against the endometrium. It's this layer against the endometrium and the myometrium. This is where we're going to find the arterial supply. The radial arteries are going to be in this area right there. So, and then the spiral arteries are in the endometrium. It's the spiral arteries that we slough off. Okay? Any questions? We're not getting that far. Okay? It's just in conversation. Okay? We'll get there later. Like that, right now, it's just learning the anatomy. Okay? The hypothalamus talks to the anterior pituitary gland, and the anterior pituitary gland talks to the ovary. In your book, it says negative and positive feedback, unnecessary information. Don't get wrapped up in that. Okay? It's unnecessary information.
Physiology.
Hmm?
Physiology?
Yeah, it's just words. Don't worry about them. You don't have to know that for the registry. What you have to know is the hypothalamus, the anterior pituitary gland, and the ovary. The ovary puts out estrogen. Once the estrogen gets to the high, it talks to the anterior pituitary gland and says, release luteinizing hormone now. Okay? My estrogen stops being developed. Okay? Because at this point in time, I've already let go of my egg. Okay? Now I have a Graafian follicle that lets go of the egg. And that Graafian follicle closes back up. It involutes on itself. And it's now called a corpus luteum cyst. That corpus luteum puts out estrogen and mostly progesterone. Because if I get pregnant, it's progesterone that's going to hold the baby until the placenta can take over. Okay? It's just a big cycle, a big loop. So, Basil,
Yeah.
what are the 3 layers of the uterus?
The
From outer to inner.
outer, the serosa or luteum,
Uh-huh.
and then the myometrium, and then the
And then the endometrium.
luteum.
And then the endometrium has 2 layers. They are what, Adelaide? Zona basalis, zona functionalis. The basalis is next to the myometrium. The functionalis is next to the canal, endometrial canal, the uterine canal. Okay? So, Anna, Lauren, what are the 3 layers, what are the 3 areas of my uterus?
3 areas.
Yes. Yeah, no. The isthmus is next to the internal os. We, as sonographers, just label it LUS, lower uterine segment. The lower uterine segment is between the endometrium and the cervix. I should never see endometrium in that shot of the uterus. The next layer is called the body or the corpus, C-O-R-P-U-S. C-O-R-P-U-S. Corpus. Or the fundus. Oh, that's not even spelled right, is it? I'm having one of those days. Okay.
So the 3 segments is the lower uterus segment,
Mm-hmm.
and the corpus,
Mm-hmm.
and then the fundus,
The fundus.
and leave the lower uterus segment.
It's also called the isthmus.
We have other isthmus here.
We have an isthmus up here too.
A line for the 3 segments.
A line for the 3 segments?
Yeah.
Sure. Now, we already said that the isthmus is where? Between the cervix and the endometrium. The body is at the widest part, and the fundus is up here. It's just a piece of meat. We don't want to see any endometrium because we're looking for an arcuate uterus. It should just be an oval piece of meat. A homogeneous. Okay? A homogeneous. Let me look at it and see if I missed anything.
So we have to learn how to
Yes. Okay. Now,